Spare me this paternal idolatry.
All right. See if I can get this thing set.
We could have waited till dark. The store was closed.
I think that's good.
We couldn't on our way without stirring up a
Let's see
hornet's nest.
my face. You'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. Go like that. See, like that. Yeah. So first thing I'm going to do here, I do things a little bit different than most when it comes to breading. I don't use flour. I go straight from the eggs into the bread mixture, only because there's already flour in it. And I'd say I'm semi-keto. I don't know if there's really a such thing as that, but I don't need all that flour, and I'm using breading anyway. Now this is cube steak.
Is that right?
Sharp knife. I finally bought a sharpener, so boom, there it is. It actually cuts things. It cuts things.
Oh no.
What I gotta do here is I'm going to I'm gonna have to turn the TV down because there might be some kind of issue with copyright or whatever with the way YouTube is, so I don't want to mess with that. So let me go turn that down. I'm always washing my hands. Always wash your hands while you cook. Continue to wash your hands while you cook.
What do you hope to gain by all this?
I'm doing things.
So I'm gonna put that down, and that's why I would have had music going, but I don't want to. I still haven't learned all the rules to the YouTube, you know, the YouTube. Look at this beautiful venison cube steak. I don't have to hammer it out. I don't, man. I tell you what, I might have to hammer this out right here. No, I think we're gonna be good. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make chicken fried steak. Beautiful, beautiful. What I'm gonna do is make 3 little steaks here. You gotta have a big steak, right? So we're gonna have a big steak. That's gonna be the big steak. But what I want to do is I'm gonna pat it down. I'm gonna take that initial moisture out, and I did let it come to room temperature. I let it come to room temperature. Paper towels are your best friend. Letting it come to room temperature actually helps you out in terms of frying or sauteing. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to season the meat. I'm not shy with seasoning of the meat. Salt, pepper, salt and pepper. I don't want my oil to get too, got it warm now, so it's smoking a little bit much, so I'm going to just take it off the heat for a second. And I haven't really cooked much in a long while. Or I used to cook professionally, and I've forgotten more than most people know about cooking. Shush. And so I'm just gonna pat that in. I don't have a lot of seasonings, but what I do have, we're gonna utilize. Turn that over. Now this is gonna be real good. This is gonna be real good. I'm looking forward to this. I was gonna make sandwiches out of it, and then I was like, you know what? I've got a can of beans, green beans, and I've got I'm gonna make some gravy. I do have the gravy now. It is is packaged gravy, but that's okay. You do what you gotta do to have what you gotta have, be what you gotta be. And like I said, I'm always doing my washing my hands. Now this is sea salt. I like kosher salt. I like Himalayan salt, but in terms of expense and what was available at the store, sea salt is fine. The Morton sea salt is just fine. I'm okay with that. And just a little garlic. Not much, because we're also going to put seasoning in the egg wash. And the breading also has the Italian seasoning. So I'm using what I have, and that's what we're going to do, is we use what we have. Right? Okay. So that's good right there. I'm going to take some organic egg. I like these eggs. They're really good. Actually, they're really good. Absolutely. They got a really nice, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if we can just do that. Do you see? Let me do like that. Really, really deep yellow egg yolk. They taste great. Like I said, they taste awesomeness. Really good. So, if you're looking to have a nice egg, you like eggs, I'm gonna go use 3 because I don't think I'm gonna need more than that. That's happy eggs, organic happy eggs. And I really enjoy them a lot. I've got to clean a pan for my gravy, since I decided to go that route instead of, because I had a clean pan, but guess what? I made popcorn earlier. I woke up from a nap and I was like, man, I gotta have some popcorn. I don't know why, just had to have some popcorn. So what I gotta do here is wash my stuff here so as I can make the gravy. I don't have a lot of counter space, and of course when I was chefing 30 years ago, you know, I had as much space as I ever wanted. Plus, I didn't have to really clean as I go, because I could clean. I was sloppy. I will admit it. I will admit that I was sloppy. I was sloppy because I figured, man, I could just push through it, and then, man, whatever went on the floor, whatever pots. I had a pot washer. I had a dishwasher. I had somebody that cleaned up behind me. But that's not good practices. I'm not saying it's good practices. And what we're going to do here, that's going to be for the beans. That's going to be for the gravy. And I got to get all this together. And I can cook this up. I got the oven at 350 just to be able to keep things warm. Because I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll cook the other things. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I like to always wash the top of a can. I don't feel like getting any kind of listeria or anything like that from a can. You know what I'm saying? That's what we don't want. And what I do is I like the flavor of the water in the beans. So that's what I don't drain it. I just put it right into the pot, man. I just put it right into the pot, because I could eat these things. I don't know, maybe it's weird. I can just eat them right out of a can. I think they're good right out of a can. And Man, oh man, oh man. I don't like canned vegetable. This is like, I think this is the only canned vegetable that I like. Is string beans. French style string beans. French style string beans, man. Out of a can. I do not know why, but I like them. I like them a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And so I got them going. And just for me, the flavor of them, I don't have to put a lot of seasoning on them. That's weird, right? So I don't know why. I'm gonna get these yolks going, get this egg wash going. Now, I'm going to put just a little bit of milk. Some people use water. I was taught to use milk for an egg wash, and that's what I do. I have used water, and that also works too. It just loosens it up a little bit. And if you are using flour, if you are actually using flour, which I am not, that's just something I chose, and I'm sure that the big shots like Gordon Ramsay and stuff, you're like, what are you doing? You have to use flour. No, this is my occasion. What I want to use. You use what you want to use. That's all I'm saying. So basically, I'm using the same seasoning: garlic, onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and that's just going to reinforce what's actually on the meat. Alright. So let me kick that back up a notch, the oil. Bring that back up to 10. Let me see the instructions on. I read the instructions. 1.5 cups of water. Water. Gotta have water. I don't have water. What do you got? And then I'm doing a half a cup, and then you bring that to a bowl. So I get 1.5 cups of water. See, I actually bought these actually not too long ago, probably about a year ago maybe. That's 1.5. Okay, and I'm gonna bring that to a boil. So bring it to a bowl. Try bowl. Now bring it to a bowl. And I gotta mix some. Now this is my only bowl. I don't know, man. See, I don't know, man. See, I gotta think about this because that's my bowl. And so what I'll do is real quick, is I'll just put a half cup of water in my what is it, Magic Bullet? Half a cup of water. Half a cup of water in my Magic Bullet. I'll mix it real good. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? I don't need this. Put that away. I do need this. Heating up my beans. There we go. See, I'm going to check out this oil. Okay, you see how the egg just popped right up? So that's ready to go. Mix this up real good. Okay. And I'll put this in here. That water's coming to a bowl. I'll put my mix right there. Put it like this. like that. I have never done this before, but you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And it's mixed. I've not done that. I've not used that before. I've just usually just take a wire whisk and put that wire whisk in the bowl and make it my gravy. Make it my gravy. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree, bub. There we go. That, just get ready to go for that when that boils. All right, now let's get some breading going on here. There we go. Like I said, I don't have a lot of room, but that's okay. That is okay. Get that all down there in the breading right there like that. Get that like that. See, when you don't use the flour, the breading absorbs that egg, and it's actually going to give us a thicker bread crust, because we're going to continue to flip it over a couple times and press it in. And like I said, for those that are doing the keto, it eliminates some of the flour. So you're still getting your breading, but without all the flour. And I'm patting that all in there, so we're getting a whole lot of good breading in there. And it's gonna be nice. And here we go. And that goes in there like that. Look at that. And that's cooking exactly. We're right at temp. That is the temp right there. That is the temp right there. I didn't have a good place for the camera, so I'll try to show you what's going on in a closer dealy-do. That's right, dealy-do, because that's same thing. I'm going to continue to flip it, press it, flip it, press it, flip it, press it. What we're doing is we're actually using that moisture from the egg. We're getting more of the flavor of the breadcrumbs than we are flavor of flour. And it's just how I like to do it. And that's going real nice. There we go. Last one. Put it in, flip it over, get it in, flip it over. Look at this. Look at that. That is beautiful. Okay. And so what I'm going to do here right now is I got to stay conscious of what I'm doing. Now it's thin, it's cube stick, so it's going to cook fast. Okay, so we don't want to. I'm probably going to brown the second side a little bit better, a little bit more. I just saw that edge taking shape, and we don't want to overcook the venison either. We want to have it juicy on the inside. So, like some might say, hey, the crust isn't as brown. Well, Do you want a brown crust, or do you want? That's gonna be good. That's gonna be really good. You want a brown crust, or do you want a juicy piece of meat? Me, I want a juicy piece of meat. That's gonna go down just nice. Now it's boiling. The water is boiling. So now we going in here. We're making our gravy. Now it's gonna thicken up real good, real fast. And so I'm gonna turn that down. I'm actually going to add a little bit more water because it's going to sit and wait for this to get done a little bit. So I add a little bit more water. But still thick. The Pioneer product for the gravy is very forgiving. I actually use it to make soup. Cream of broccoli soup. Just whatever you want, because it's really a good base for making. If you want a quick soup, that's how you want to go, man. It's very forgiving, and if you need to let it thicken back up and leave it on the heat, it thickens back up. So I like that product. I've tried a couple of the other ones there at the store, but the Pioneer is actually, I think, I mean, we're not doing things all the way by scratch or anything, so what we've got to do now, clean as you go. Try to do that. I try to do that now. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends. It's Sunday, so I have to go to work this week. So if it was Saturday, I might be just piling everything up in the sink. Look at that. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? I'm just gonna stick that in the oven for a minute while we heat up our beans and while these others cook. A little light on the oil, but that's okay. Alright, beans are good. The beans are good. Sauce is good. Wash up after the eggs. I said sometimes, like, I'm a single guy, okay? I live by myself. If I want to have a dirty sink, I do. And there's times that I do. But then I get tired of it and then I clean, you know. I have my own tolerances, you know. But like I said, I am a man, and that's just how it is. That's just how it's gonna be. And now, I like to use this same knife as my cutting knife for dinner. My cutting knife for dinner. I'm gonna be plating in just a minute. Num num num. I'm gonna use this fancy plate for plating. And since there's a lot of egg in that breadcrumbs, we don't save those breadcrumbs. We don't want the salmonellas. We don't need no salmonella. You know what I'm saying? Salmonella. We don't want salmonella. All right. I'm gonna get ready to plate. And plate, 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 plate. But this, I think, is very consistent. What do you think? It's very consistent, yeah? That looks good. Very, very good. Very, very good. I'm going to plate now, and we'll see what comes of that. Oops. I kind of lost you there. And now what I'll do, drain my beans. Drain my beans. Yep. Drain my beans. Beans. There's just something about these French style canned string beans that I don't know, man. They're just, to me, they're just so good. They're just so good. And you know what I'm going to do here is, before I gravy it, I've got to taste it. Oh man, that is just too good. That is just too good. Very, very good. So chicken fried steak, chicken fried venison with French style string beans. I'm gonna clear off my table. And we're going to have to stir this up just a bit. There we go. Reach up here to the wall, my fancy wall. I got the fancy ladle from, I got a whole set from the Dollar Tree before it became the $1.25 tree. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Let's go over here. Let's go, this is my first cooking video in my house. I'm actually bringing you into my house, my messy house, because like you see my workout equipment and stuff. And I do that 5 days a week. I use that 5 days a week. I just went walking for a mile. Oh yeah, you have that video. But let's take a look at this. What do you think? That's nice, man. You see that steam rising up? Yeah. That is some chicken fried steak and some French style canned beans right there, buddy. Yeah. And there you go. There's dinner. That is what is for dinner. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Steve Cooks. All right. God bless you. I'll see you next time.